Professor Bolanos here. Today, we're going to learn a little bit more about Adobe Premiere. In this clip, we will learn how to bring in footage, how to add keyframes and movement to our footage, and how to create a basic color correction. First of all, when we open our Adobe Premiere system, it's going to look like this. We will need to create a sequence and or timeline in order to start editing. We will go into File, New, Sequence. Inside of here, we go into the ABC HD menu. We can pick 720 or 1080. I usually go with the 720p 30. We want to make sure that it has the square pixels selected. Hit OK. We should be good to go. In addition of creating the sequence, once we do this, anything that we bring in is going to stay consistent. In here we can see our timeline, and now it's named Sequence 2. If we want to change the name of our sequence, we double click here inside the project and we simply change the name. You see that I already have some pictures in here? Let me show you how to bring in pictures into Adobe Premiere. In order to do that, you simply go into your project right here and you double click. You can select the pictures that you want to use for your project. Let's please make sure that we're creating folders for our images. By doing so, we're making sure we are nice and organized. Alright, let's move on. We have our picture of our lovely dog. We have different options here. We can insert or overwrite. In this case, since I don't have anything else in my timeline, I'm going to overwrite it. If I want to make it longer, I simply drag it out. As we can see right here, the puppy is cut out. So let's fix this. How do we fix it? We select our video layer. We go to our effects control. And inside of here, we go to that position to fix the position of our image. Now we see that the image, it's a little too yellow and we want to do a little basic color correction. This is the difference between a professional element and a non-professional element. We want to make sure we're color correcting our video. Let me teach you how we're doing this. Right here in the little 3 arrows, we want to select our effects panel. Inside of here, you can type in anything you want. Absolutely anything. Please feel free to stop this video and go and check out all the effects that Premiere has for you. In this case, we're only going to do color. We have our second picture. We want to insert it, which is this button right here. You see what it did? Let me go back a little bit. What the insert did? Please pay attention closely to our sequence. It bumped the other picture forward. Let's take a look at what override is doing. Oh, what happened to our previous picture? It's gone. That's why please be very mindful unless you want to get rid of your previous video layer. However, if that's not the case, then we want to insert our footage. So same deal with this picture. We have some black in the edges. We want to go to our effects control. And we want to change the positioning and the scale of our lovely picture. Now I have both. We want to add some kind of movement to our images because it's no fun to just have still pictures. How do we do that? In order to do that, we need keyframes. In Adobe Premiere and other Adobe software, the keyframes are the little stopwatch. To create a keyframe, you simply click on the little stopwatch. And you can see it has created little blue dots. That means it is a keyframe. You also see it reflected here to the side. I wish it was on top of the video layer, but it's not. So if you want to see where your keyframes are, always go to this upper left corner of your workspace. So we set the keyframes to tell the computer that this is the beginning of how we want the image to begin, to start. we go to the end and one frame back, so we're on the same image, and we're telling the computer now that the change that we want. In this case, we want to increase the scale a little, and we also want to lower the picture. And you see here, it automatically has created 2 more keyframes. You can see our image moves. All right, now on to the other picture. So let's tell the computer where we want it to start. Let's create our stopwatches, our keyframes, and we're telling the computer this is exactly where I want my image to begin. And then we go at the end of our little clip and we tell it the end point that we want for our clip. In this case, we want to zoom it and also change the position. You see our keyframes here, and let's see how it comes out. Beautiful. Our image is moving. Now we want to add a dissolve in between both pictures. How do we do this? We go right at the middle, at the cut point in between the 2 shots. We double click and then we click on this icon, the little square with the 2 triangles inside. And that creates our lovely dissolve. Let's take a look. Did we have something going on in there? Let's take a look. When we added the dissolve, if you pay close attention to our viewer, when we dissolve and go from one shot to the other, unfortunately, the footage moves and then it stops. It has a little freeze, and then it dissolves and it starts the other on a freeze and it dissolves again. So as you can see, this is something that we must fix. How do we fix this? This is happening because the keyframes are not all the way at the end of this first shot. That's why it freezes. So the only thing that we have to do is click on the 2 keyframes and drag them all the way to the end where we created our dissolve. Then go to our second shot. At the beginning, you see where the dissolve is at. You simply select the keyframes and drag it back. Let's take a look. It plays nice and smooth. Okay class, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned from it. I will be looking for color correction, photo movement, and dissolves in your next assignment. Have a great day.